Well, hello and welcome back to Harold Road. Welcome back to the loft with me, John. It's the big one. It's the big Q&A. Now, I asked on Facebook the other day for questions. We're going to do a big Q&A today, trying to answer some questions about Harold Road and the layout. Now, I've got some of the questions that have been asked on the Facebook page. But what I also have is a sealed area of questions that have come through the messenger and emails. Now Adam has put messenger questions for Q&A. Do not look, Dad. Adam, kiss. I'm dreading this bit, so I just know that some of my friends are going to be asking some very strange questions on here. But we're going to get right into it because this could go on for quite a while. So forgive me. I'm going to put my glasses on, otherwise I just can't see what I'm doing. We're going to go straight into it with a Q&A. So these questions have come basically off the Facebook page. So the first one goes to Marsh Green Road TMD, and he states, "Hi John, can't wait for this. My question is, how do you achieve the weathered look to your track, and what's the best approach to protecting the points from paint overspray? Many thanks, Simon." Well, Simon, how I actually weather my track is I use paints from Precision Paints. Now I've got some here. So we've got track dirt, and you can also use something called frame dirt. Now if I go towards you can see the colours of the paints there. So how I achieve it is I'll lay a base of Woodland Scenics fine grey ballast, and then I'll use 50/50 water PVA, let that harden for 2 or 3 days, and then I'll use a selection of those two colours and I will airbrush. So let's just take a quick look at some of the track, and I can actually then tell you how it all works. Right then, Simon, so if I'm going to be spraying or doing some airbrushing to the track, what I will do is I'll prepare any point blades by putting some Tamiya masking tape, only the big one there, and I'll put that in between each point blade, and that will actually protect for when you spray. So you can clearly see that I've used fine ballast there. It's still grey, but what I do is I get the airbrush, I mix up some track dirt, or I mix up some frame dirt, both together, 50/50 with the oil thinners, and then I'll just go up and down each piece of track until I'm happy with the result. And as you can see, if you keep building it up, it looks quite realistic. So that's basically how I do it. So basically we've got, let me just find it for you. So here we are, I've just found it for you. It's Woodland Scenics fine grey ballast, B75. I use it straight from the bag. It's grey. Literally once I've done that, and then I just let it all harden after I've ballasted it with the PVA in the water, and then I just go over it with the airbrush until I'm happy with it, until I'm happy with the colour of the track. Right, so let's go back to the questions. So that's the first one out of the way, Simon. Hope that helped you there. Obviously, if you want to get in touch, I'll go over it with you again, but that's how I do it. So we'll get rid of that one. That one's all done, so we'll mark that one off. J. Stephen Edwards. Hi. Do you plan to have any class 50s or class 55 Deltics, as they look a bit of class from the early 80s? I love your 37s and 20s. I have got a class 50, 50049. That's the only class 50 I've got. With regards to Deltics, the only Deltic I could have on here would be a preserved one, and I have done that before. Never say die. I can't recreate the early 80s because obviously the layout is actually modern image. And that would mean me buying lots and lots of BR Blue locos when I've got about 100 modern image ones. So I don't really want to buy any more locos, to be fair with you, although I have got a new loco coming very soon. We'll leave that one there. Next question, Andy King. Andy King is the chap. I call him a chap. He's the beast that built the loft, and he's also the man that built the baseboards. His questions, we're going to get. I just know we're going to get some really silly questions today, especially from ex-squaddies and people who I used to serve with on the railway. Andy King. On the last video, whilst panning past Dinosaur Corner, did I happen to see something nefarious with a young lady in the wooded area? Well, Andy, I'm not sure about that, mate. So I think we should go and have a look and see what's going on in the corner, if you've seen something nefarious. Right, so let's make our way up to Dinosaur Corner, where Andy King saw something nefarious going on with a young lady in the bushes. Well, I can't honestly see anything apart from a chap walking towards the T-Rex, another chap near the memorial, and there's a T-Rex doing a bit of train spotting. But no, nothing nefarious is going on in that corner. So thanks for your question, Andy. Well, I hope that answered your question there, Andy, and thank you very much for that one. We'll scrub that off the list. Nothing nefarious is going on in Dinosaur Park, or Harold Road Park, mate. You can't call it. It's going to be called Dinosaur Park now, isn't it? Right. Okay. Frank Reynolds, hiya. I'm in the process of planning my layout. I was wondering how you planned it. To be fair with you, Frank, once Andy had built the baseboards, what I did is you kind of measure up what you got space-wise, and there's a lot of space here. There's about best part of 30 feet scenic. I wanted to do it in set track because I wanted to make it simple and for others to follow if they want to do it. Okay, that was always the process. That was the journey. That's all doing it all together, building the layout together. You guys could follow it. Planning wise, because it's end to end, I can't go. I wanted to go all the way around, because the loft ladder actually comes up and down. I can't do that because I can't get up the ladder and get through. So it's got to be end to end. I am disappointed with that, but I'm not disappointed because I can still run my DMUs. There's plenty of action going on behind me in the station with DMUs, and the sidings behind me. We've got Junction Road just over there, so there's plenty of scope for the layout. What I did planning wise is I made rough sketches of what I could do. As long as I could get the corners in with the set track, you then plan in between. So first of all, I planned the station. There was quite a few rough, sketches, I would say, and then you've got to try and work out the space you've got, measuring with the points you've got, and then after you do a few rough plans, you go with a proper plan, and then you buy the track and then you lay it down and see how it goes. Same with Junction Road stabling point. That was changed many times. I was going to have a 2-road shed where the washer was. I planned for an inspection shed up where the scrap locomotives were. That was the original plan. There was lots more points, etc., but it just looked a little bit too it was too crowded, so I changed it. Basically what I'm saying is, Frank, is basically plan, just do some sketches, buy your track, and then obviously work to that. That's the best way to do it. That's how I did it. Sketches and planning. Alan Clypass. Now I hope I've said that right. Alan, are we making bets on how many show us your tats questions he will get? As you can see, I'm covered up today. So Alan, no tats today, although I'm sure Mary Hinge will probably be asking me a question later on. Dave Hodgson, when weathering, do you wing it? Do I wing it? No. Using your judgment, or do you study photos of a particular loco and try and copy the stains? Right, Dave. If I get one of my locos out of the box and I think, right, I'm going to weather this loco today, what I will do is I will plan the loco. I will plan, right, I'll detail it or fit a brass hook on it, and then what I'll do, as soon as I've detailed it, I will look at photographs of that particular locomotive. I will Google it, say I'm doing a class 66033. I will then look at that locomotive in various photographs, and then I will choose the best photograph I can, and I will replicate it using the airbrush. I don't just use an airbrush, and I mean, a lot of people say, oh, I can't airbrush. You can weather a locomotive many wet ways. You can use powders. You can do it by hand and wipe off. It's a way. There's totally different ways to do it. I use airbrush, and I also use Tamiya weathering master palettes as well, because they've got gunmetal, they've got silver, etc. Most of my work is actually airbrush work. I've been doing that now for about 26 years, so I've got no issue in taking a £200 model out of the box and sticking the airbrush onto it. For some people that would be like, oh god, but no, I've got no problem with doing that. If you are getting into weathering, a few people I am teaching online, I can do that. I teach many people via Messenger. How do I do this? How do I do that? If you want to learn how to do something, drop me a line. I'll add you to the people that I'm already teaching. But yes, I've got no problem with doing that. I do look at the prototype. You must look at the prototype. Lots of people, when they weather, they will just do the and that's it, done. I will do panel line washes. I will. If you go on the Facebook page, you'll see I've got the how-to guides where I've taught people dirt always travels downwards, and some people who weather don't bother doing that. They'll just go and then they just do little patches. In the real world, everything goes downward. Muck goes downward. Right, so that's your question done there, Dave. Mike Eels. I don't know if this Eels or Les. I'm not sure. This is just a question generally about model railway shops. Model railway shops. Why are some unfriendly and make you feel uncomfortable when you walk in? And it's like, oh God, not another customer we have to deal with. What's with this attitude? I agree with you on that one, Mike. I'm lucky that I have two model shops near me. That's Great Eastern Models, who I've been dealing with since 1989, and Smith Model Railways in Sheringham. If I walk into any of those shops, I'm not obligated to buy anything. You know, you can just walk around and you can walk out again. It's not an issue. If we go on holiday somewhere, if I go on holiday somewhere with a family, you will always look for a model railway shop. Well, I do anyway. And I've been to some places, and you walk in, and immediately the guy behind the counter he's kind of like this. You know, and you just feel uncomfortable, don't you? When you walk into any other shop, people aren't like that. They'll go, hello, how are you? But I don't understand what it is with some model railway shops where old men are behind the counter. Yes, it can make you feel extremely uncomfortable, and I have been in that situation. I remember going to a model, we traipsed through Blackpool once, and my son was going, there's a model railway shop, and when we got there, I wouldn't go in there. It just looked uninviting to me. I just thought, no. But you are correct, some model railway shops do make you feel very uncomfortable, and I've been in that situation, because you know, some of us just want to look. But as I said, I'm quite lucky because I've got Great Eastern Models and I've got Smiths and Sheringham. I can walk into them with no problems whatsoever. It is an attitude that needs to change. I mean, I do work in customer service myself, and if someone walks through the door, I'm not going to go and challenge them. I would let them walk around. But if they want help or want to ask a question, I wouldn't be obtuse about it. I'd be like, yeah, not a problem, I can help you. But yes, I do agree with you, Mike, on that one. And it can be a little bit, well, that's the first page done, right? Yeah, it can make you feel uncomfortable. Okay, I need to put my glasses back on again. Here we go. Another question. Alan Clypass again. If you had to give up double O gauge, what scale would you switch to, and would you stick with British or try your hand at another country's railway? I would switch to N gauge. It's something that I've always thought I'd love to give a go, or maybe build a smaller layout in N gauge and actually show it. Yeah, I've often thought about that. There is an idea. I wouldn't try my hand at any other country's railway because I know nothing about it. I only know anything about the UK's railways when I worked on the railways, and that's all I know. So I know nothing about Canadian, American, or Germany or France. I know nothing about it. So I would model N in British scale, and I'm not ruling out that I would actually do that as an exhibition layout. Right, Eddie Day. I was wondering about signalling and the wiring of it. Is it automatic? Do you have to I can't read what I've written. How do you achieve it? Do you isolate sections? Yes, I am DC, and with DC you have to isolate certain sections. I'll quickly show you. I mean, my switches are a little bit on. I haven't marked them all up yet, but I'll just take you over there and show you how I've isolated sections. So let's take a look at isolating sections for DC. So we have a siding number 1, which is coming off the main entry road. It's set. We've got 2 locomotives on them. If it was DCC, I could control either one of them. As you can see, I have cut a piece of rail there, and there is soldered wires either side of that which run back to a switch. So when the switch is off, okay, both locos will move. If I isolate that section, hold on, by flicking the switch, only one will move. So there is a few isolated sections all around the layout, where 2 locomotives are parked together. There's one there, again that corresponds down to another switch on the panel. There's another one just there which is isolated, so I can have a loco on the fueling pad and I can have another loco just sitting there. So there's isolating sections all over the layout. As regards to signalling, it's the same process. If I now flick, hold on a minute, if I now flick the switch here, you'll see that the colour light signals will change. Again, they're just through a 3-way switch, and that's all the same. So basically the panel isn't actually marked up as yet because I've still got to go through it, but if you look there are many switches, and they are for isolating sections and obviously for all the signals up this area. So I hope that kind of answers that question. I am going to professionally mark these up so I know exactly what I'm doing, but yeah, that's how it's done. Right, we can see we're doing this live. I'm up and down like a fiddler's elbow. So the last question that's come off Facebook is from Zeb Harris. Zeb Harris is the top dog on Harold Road. He's been after it for ages. He's the top as fans. He's asked me a question about painting figures. How do you paint your figures without getting eye strain? He models in 00, but actually likes HO figures. I've got lots of figures that I've got to paint. Most of those are from Model U. I've got quite a few. Painting figures has always been a bit of a challenge, especially if they're literally just a base colour when you get them. You have to look at obviously a reference picture of the figure you're painting. So if you're painting a line side guy, just look at line side guys and just paint. Yeah. So I would basically, if it was all over orange, high vis, I would probably paint the figure orange first, let that dry. Then I'd do the fleshy tones and let that dry. And then I would do any clothing underneath that can be seen, and obviously shoes, etc. Once that's done, I would then let it all dry, and then I would then go over it in matte varnish via the airbrush. Once you've done a matte varnish, let that dry, you can then do a wash. And I mean a wash by matte black paint. You could just go into certain areas and bring out certain tones, etc. That's how I would do it, and I don't get eye strain because I've got different strengths. I'm not sure my age here, but I've got different strengths of glasses, so that goes from like 150 to 350. And for painting figures or anything small, having different strength glasses, unless you're young and fit, yeah, I need glasses. Or you could use a helping hand or one of these. Yes, you could use one of those, a magnifying. Not that I never used it. I just sit there. I just use different strengths of glasses. Now we're going into this now. This is all sealed. This is a bit worrying. So I've got to unpeel it, and then we're going to go through the. This is where the questions are going to get silly. I know. Why is it sealed up, Adam? Why is it sealed? It just makes me worry. Now I've got masking tape stuck to my fingers now. There's bits of masking tape everywhere. Oh, here we go. Right. So, top sheet. I'm just know I'm going to regret. I just know I'm going to regret this. Harry Cox. Is that dodgy? Can I just say, before we get into this, if there's any young children watching this, if I do make a faux pas or I've been duped into saying a silly name, I do apologise. I know what my mates are like, or some of the fans of the show are. Harry Cox. No, that might be your name. Okay. I'm now a little bit worried. DC or DCC? Well, Harold Road is DC. I don't know anything at all about DCC modelling. I know nothing. I know you stick a chip in it and that can independently run each. I know not. I've got no interest in it whatsoever. I know many guys who are well into it, and they have got DCC sound, blah blah blah. I have no interest in it whatsoever, so I can't. I'm not going to go into it. I know people want me to. Here we go. Right, this is from Hey Would You Pull My Finger. Where do you get your bushes? Oh, that's actually a decent question. Well, hey, would you pull my finger? Where do you get your bushes from? This is one of the questions I get asked so many times. All right, okay. The bushes come from War Painter. The grass tufts come from Tajima 1. And all my trees, etc., are Woodland Scenics, Fine Leaf, Foliage. There you go. So there you go. Hey, would you pull my finger? Oh God, Clay Torres. What's the fencing you use? I assume you mean the Palisade fencing. That's Wills. That's by Wills. Just look it up. Just put in Wills Palisade fencing. It's all round the layout. Actually, let me just lean over. Great shot. Great shot. So this is how it comes. There you go. That is Will's Palisade fencing, and all I do with that is I literally just spray it aluminium, and then I've got little areas I've still got these to do. So so there you go, Clay Torres. Ronald Grimes, normal name. Can I have a shout out? I love Harold Road. You are an inspiration to all us modelers. Oh, Ronald, thank you very much, mate. You can have a shout out. Ronald Grimes, hi there. Easy. Lucy Smith. Can my son Caleb have a mention? He is 6 and he loves Harold Road. Can he see the colourful diesel in the platform close up as it's its favourite? Well, Lucy, I assume your son Caleb wants to see the class 153. I will sort that out for you right now. He can have a look at it. So there you go, Caleb. This is from your mum Lucy. You love this. I assume you like this one because that's very colourful and it's in the platform. So this is a class 153. It's actually named John Batley. Oh, the rivet counters will love that one. And it's an East Midlands livery. I really do love this livery. So there you go, Caleb. I'll just spin it around for you, mate, so you can have a good look at that. There you go. We aim to please here at Harold Road. If you're very, very lucky, I'll do a shot at the end and I'll see if we can get it running up the track for you. So that's just for you, Caleb, and your mum Lucy. That's a class 153 for you. Alright, we're back. Sorry about this. I'm no Steven Spielberg. I have to keep walking back in the shop. So that's Lucy done. Eddie Day. We've already done your question, Eddie. You must have contacted me twice for some reason. That's about signalling. We've just done that one. Did you contact me twice? Okay, number 2. Billy Kimber. I'm sure he's in Peaky Blinders. What airbrush do you use? That's a proper question. So it is your name, Billy. Sorry. It's right here. It is an Iwata CP-CR3. That's about 130 quid. That's my main airbrush. I could do with a clean, to be honest with you. That's my main airbrush that does most of the work. I also use an Iwata Neo. So yeah, you can with these, with the HP CR3, you can use enamel paints. If you buy a cheap airbrush off Amazon, I'll warn you now, it will, if you're using enamels, after a while it will mess the seals up. So if you do buy, you come across, go, oh, John, I got an airbrush for 30 quid, just be aware it will last you a little while, but then the seals will break down. Invest yourself in some, a proper airbrush, 130 quid, and that'll last you years, as long as you keep it clean. Yeah, I do need to clean that one out. So yeah, I use the 2 eye waters. That's you better. Alfie Solomons. All right, Alfie. Rum, rum or gin? Both. Yeah, both. I'm partial to both. Rum. If you were to put a gun against my head and say rum or gin, I would say rum, Navy strength, please. But I like them both. Chris Maxim. Is PC right? Okay, there is children watching. I'll just I'll just spell his name. That's Felcher. Is he real? No, he's not real, but he's a bit of a legend on Harold Road, and lots of people love him. So he works for BT Police, and he's often rounding up guys who put graffiti on trains. So he's not really. He could be real. I'll answer you. I'll tell you really. He was a spelling mistake. I was meant to put PC Fletcher. I nearly said it then. I was meant to put PC Fletcher. Oh God. I made him when I did the post on Facebook. I spelt his name wrong, and he's gone down as a legend since then. Zeb Harris. How do you paint? Zeb, this is I've already done you. Bob Scratcher. How do you get your ballasting to look so good, and what products do you use? We've just covered that. I use Woodland Scenics fine ballast. PVA it with your water 50-50. Let it dry for 2 or 3 days, and then you go over it with the airbrush using your track dirt and your frame dirt until you're happy with it using an airbrush. But don't forget to put masking tape in between the blades, any point blades. Anita Hardcock. Can you please show me your... No, I'm not doing that. No, sorry Anita, children are watching, I'm not going to do that. Oh, the names get worse. This is going to be a comedy sketch, this is. Cole Ostomy. Can you show me some class 68s as I love them? I will show you some 68s later. I won't do it just now because we've got so many questions to go through. But there's some 68s behind me. I'll show you those later. So Cole Ostomy, I will just put a circle around you, and we'll show you that at the end of the video. Craven Moorhead. Oh God. How do you thin your paint for airbrushing? 50-50. 50-50, basically. I use these. Craven Moore. Right, I use these. These are shot glasses you can buy from any quality discount shop, and I mix my paint up in those. Good idea, isn't it? And once basically you pour your paint in with your thinners, and then just mix it all up, pour it in your airbrush. 50-50. So it's got to be the consistency of milk, basically. So just keep stirring it and put it up the side until you're happy with it. That's one done. Oh God, Brian Fart, that's with a PH and a double T. I love the can of Stella Lager in the background in the last video. Any chance you could pour it cold into a tall glass and reenact that scene in Ice Cold and Alex with John Mills? And now you've got to be of a certain age to do that, Brian. The youngsters won't have a clue what you're talking about. There is a can of Stella behind me which Slimer is looking after. I'm not going to do that. If you've ever seen Ice Cold and Alex, it's an old black and white film about World War II, and there's an ambulance going across the Libyan desert, and when they get to the end, they get to this pub in Alexandria, and they pour this Carlsberg, I think it is, into a tall glass, and you watch the glass frost up, and John Mills runs his finger down the side of the glass. I tell you what, it don't have to make you want a pint of lager. Watch it. Okay, Mary Hinge, here we are. Oh, you darling, really, you're back. I love Ross Kemp and Steve McFadden, who play Grant and Phil Mitchell. Can you do an impression of any of them, as you look a bit like both of them? Kiss it up. Do I? Do I honestly look like Ross Kemp or Steve McFadden? Okay, Mary, I can only do a quick one, and that'll be Steve McFadden or Phil Mitchell when he goes, Ben, and he goes, you. There you go, Mary. This is supposed to be a Q&A about model railways. We're kind of going off a little bit. I don't mind, but I don't want people turning off thinking this is a comedy sketch. Mark Lucas, what's your favourite model loco? Oh God, That's a good one, Mark. I do like the 68, as you know. I also like first gen stuff I used to work with, like 37s, 47s, anything Eastern region. I'm not a big fan of Southern stuff. Sorry, if you love your Hymex and you love your 52s, it's just, I'm a Norfolk boy, so anything Eastern region. I like a 25 as well. A baby soldier always sounds nice. So that's you, Mark. Jim McLean. Are you that guy who was on Channel 5 with Rob Bell? Yes, I did. I worked with Channel 5's Walking Britain's Lost Railways, and I did a piece at Melton Constable with Rob Bell. I've been on telly a few times, believe it or not. Andy Mann. I love the lager placement. Oh, God. Have your good lady wife ever tried Come Cider? I think we've got... No, I know what you're up to. I just got it. Please, there is children watching this. Ian Bingley, have you ever been train spotting? Yes, many times. And where have you been? Sounds like a song. Have you been train spotting and where have you been? Do you have a favourite place? Okay, I've been train spotting since I was about 10 and I'm now 52. So yes, and I still do it. Every year I buy a new Platform 5 book, and I do go out maybe 3 or 4 times a year just to get away. Sorry about that, I do live on a main road, so you're going to hear road noise. And I do go out and about with a video camera, just spend the day by a railway line. Love it. Where have I been? All over the place, mate. I've been all over the country. Do you have a favourite place? My favourite place, well, it used to be Barnetby in North Lincolnshire, because those used to be a haven for freight. At the moment, East Coast Main Line, Peterborough. I can get there about 8 o'clock in the morning, spend all day just watching the trains. Still do it. Paul Wee Wee. How long have you been weathering your trains? They are amazing. Please say hi. Okay, Paul Wee Wee, hi. I've been weathering locomotives since I was about early 20s, maybe. About 25, 26 years. Been doing it. I first started just by like painting the sides of the locos in like brown and just wiping it all off. I'm lucky because I've got an art and design degree. Quite a few qualifications in art. A lot of my family are very arty-farty. I used to do a lot of technical drawings, etc. And I just basically learnt. I just learnt myself basically. The airbrush thing. I remember my first airbrush was an airbrush with a can of propellant on it. I thought that was the the dog's danglies when I got that. And then I literally just bought some airbrush and just self-taught myself basically. We're moving on. Is this international? Mad Cow Disease. Can I have a mention? I love you and Harold. Mad Cow Disease. I get it now. You can have a mention, Mad Cow Disease, and you love Harold Road. Thank you very much. Knobbly Bobbly. How long has it taken to build Harold Road? Just over 2 years so far. I think I'm about 80% there. It's not bad for 2 years. Is it based on a real place? No. It's basically just it's based in here. As I said very early on, there was a lot of plans that I made, and then I just changed it. And then as you go along, it's like basic modelling. Let me just switch this off. You just basically just go along and just change things as they go. What era are you modelling? Mid 2000s to like now, so I can sort of run late EWS right up to present day, and it wouldn't look out of place. I love the layout and all the best. Well, thank you, Knobbly Bobbly. It's very kind of it. Morgan Freeman. I see you like class 68s. How about you turn the sidings opposite Harold Road into DRS sidings? That way we could see more mixed traction. 68s, 37s, 47, 50s, 56s. Not DRS. And 66s. Thank you, Morgan. That's weird, Morgan, because I've literally this week turned King sidings into a DRS depot. That is spooky. Behind me is going to be King sidings, now going to be King sidings TMD. There will be a little maintenance shed behind me as well. That is spooky. John James, can you move that spotlight out of shot? I feel like I'm under interrogation. It's spoiling my view. Oh god. Okay, I'll pop that down. Sorry about that, John. It's got to be a live question, surely. Right. Okay. Oh, I really don't want to pronounce this name. No, I'm not doing that one. Mr. Valentine, what make is the back scene with the houses? All my back scenes are ID back scenes. ID back scenes just basically terraced houses, and the ones opposite Junction Road, stable and sidings is just trees. Just trees. That's you, Mr. Valentine. Lubricant. Lubricant. Any chance of more graffiti, dude? Give me a big shout out. Okay, lubricant. Graffiti. No, that did upset a lot of people. There may be a bit more graffiti coming. I'll see how I get on. When I put the shed in here, I might just put a little bit on there. Lubricant. See my rack? See my rack. Oh God. See my rack. How long have you been modelling? Please say hi. Modelling as in railway modelling, or modelling as in, railway modelling since I was about 12. I think I had my first train set when I was about 12. And it was a Duchess of Sutherland train set from Hornby Oval. So I've had train sets all my life. I'm trying to think now, I've had 3 layouts. One is called March St John's. If you go on YouTube and type in March St John's, you'll see a very early layout from me from the early 2000s. Junction Road TMD, which featured the Model Railway magazine, and now Harold Road. Chris Grumps. I love Harold Road. Hate the rivet counters. When is the group coming? I have an Airfix Spitfire I've just made and I want to show it off. I am in the process of possibly doing a group. I don't know about the Airfix Spitfire. Can we do that? What do you reckon? Should we have a modelling group that shows off plastic kits as well? I wasn't actually thinking about it, but you popped a bubble in there. What do you think? Should we have a group for model railways and model aircraft, or kits, or tanks, or plastic dinosaurs? Yeah, possibly. I don't know. Phil Chilton, big shout out. Please say hi to me and my son Adam, big fans of Harold Road. Phil Chilton and your son Adam, you are more than welcome, and thank you very much. Cheryl Thornbum, show me your guns, big boy, please say hi. Cheryl, my guns are covered today, but I will say hi. Martin Steele, have you got any class 50s? Get rid of them class 66s. As I've said before, I have got 500049. I feel like getting that out now just to show you I've got a class 50. Look at my art. No, I'm not doing that one. Papa Woody. Love the class 37s. Have you got any colas? I think you mean colas. Colas ones. Yes, I've got 37421 and 521 still in their boxes. Papa Woody. Bob Dunker. Where do the signals come from? I take it you mean colour light signals. Colour light signals, ground signals are by Train Tech. I've still got that one to put in, and the colour light signals on the main lines are by Econ and Burco. Tim Hester. I love Harold Road. You are an honest, genuine guy. Probably the best layout I've ever seen. Amazing. Please say hi. Tim Hester, thank you very much. I do get a lot of this on the Facebook page. That's nice of you to say that. And, we're getting there. We're getting near the end now. Jack Mehoff. Oh. Great layout. Supermodels. Love what you do, man. Wish I could be as half as good as you. Regards, Jack. You've just made me say something I shouldn't have said on account. Oh God. Carl Jones. How many locos have you got? Best layout ever. Carl Jones, around about 100. Yeah, about 100. I just bought another one. Matthew Wills, how big is it? The layout. Matthew, how big is it? I've discussed it before. It's 10, 15, 25, there's about 30 feet in scenics and about 8 feet fiddle yard. Sean Derry. Sean Derry? Not the Sean Derry I know. It can't be. How do you clean your track? Ah, it's not the Sean Derry I know. Because I know the Sean Derry I know is an ex-paratrooper. I don't think he'd be having a model railway. I clean my track firstly with I haven't got it with me now. Yeah, it's Inox MX3, I think it is. You can't get it. Can't get it in the UK. It's really hard to get hold of, but it really does clean your track. I haven't got much of it left. I also use track. There it is. Yeah, everything's in hand. Look, I use Track Magic. You get good results with that, and also I use a track rubber. This question has been asked a lot in many forums on Facebook pages. How do you clean your track? Being in a loft, my track does get quite dirty, so I have to clean it maybe once a month. How often should I clean it? About once a month. How long does it take you to clean your track? I bet it takes ages. Yes, it does. Please say hi. Well, hiya, Sean Derry. If I start at Harold Road at the station, cleaning all the points and go all the way around, you're looking about 2 hours. And it's laborious. Laborious. Thanks, Sean. Guy Gibson. Guy Gibson? In either Dan Buster's part. Sorry if your name is Guy Gibson. How many Class 37s have you got? Well, I've got 9 Acura scale. I must have at least 20 odd Bachmann ones, so I would say about 30. Guy. Mr. Flumps, can we see a running session, please, boss? Yes, that'll be a video that I've got to do on YouTube. We're on the last page. Kevin and Linda Galter. Why have we not seen Harold Road in any model railway magazines? It's totally amazing. One of the best modern image layouts we've ever seen. It's stunning with all the details, simply the best. I've not actually been approached by anybody to go in any of the magazines as yet, which is, considering I've got nearly like 9,000 people following it, no, I've not been approached. Maybe one day, maybe one of them will say, blah, let's get you in. Yeah, I'm not going to say no to that. Thank you, Kevin and Linda, and hello to you. Jeff Hubbs. Loved your stance on rivet counters. I'm sure people will follow you as an ambassador for the hobby. My question is, why do they pick on you even though you say Harold Road wasn't being made 100% accurate? Yes, I'm going to say now that the Harold Road Facebook page, the trolls have gone. That's only because if someone posts something on there, Zeb Harris and his band will just be on you. YouTube, there has been some negative comments this week, but I'm not really reading them. I'll glance over them and get rid of. I think YouTube is awful. For basically what happens is you post and someone will come on the channel who has got no subscribers and just put a comment like, I love rivet counters. Rivet counters are the best. I'm a rivet counter. I've had a few of those this week. Also, people calling me a wuss. That was another one, because I spoke my mind. But just got to delete it. I don't let it get to me now. Dan Knights. It's not the Dan. Is it the Dan Knights I know? I'm not sure. It could be. You, sir, are a shining light in a dark world. I love what you do and the hobby. My question is, what's the future for Harold Road? Ooh, Dan. That could be my friend Dan. If it is you, Dan, well, hello. The future for Harold Road is, I'm going to, as you know, I'm working backwards from Beeston Junction to the station. I'm going to get all that done. We're going to be building a shed over the back there for the new DRS sidings. I've got to finish the fiddle yard off. After that, I don't think you can ever say that a model railway is ever finished, and thousands of you will say that. A model railway layout is never finished. Never. It never will be finished. The future, I don't know. It will, once I shuffle off this mortal coil, hopefully one of my sons will take it on. I'd hate to want to move house right now. Can you imagine it? If my wife just suddenly said we're going to move. God, everything up here is just, I'd never get it out. This is just a self-contained place. That's the future, really. Just enjoy my hobby, enjoy what I'm doing. Yeah, so, yeah, that's it, basically. So that's all your questions. We're going to do, we need to look at some 68s, don't we? For, I think it was the Galters. We'll look at that. Slimer's been looking after the can of Stella. If I had time and I had a pint glass, I would pour it and do that thing for the fan who wanted me to run my finger down the side of the glass. But then again, that's a little bit. I think that might be a little bit risky. Yeah. Anyway, so let's pause for now, and let's just look at the 68s. Thanks for all your questions. That's been fun. I've enjoyed that, and we'll just do a quick running session of the class 153 for the young Caleb. Thanks ever so much. Thanks for all your questions. Hope you enjoyed it. It's been great. I've enjoyed it. Until next time, take care. Bye bye. So to end the video, here we go. You're going to see some 68s. Somewhat, this is, I can't remember the name. There you go. 3 68s down now in the King's sidings TMD, which will be shortly. Freightliner have moved out, so DRS have now taken over. As you can see, they're making their presence felt. So there will be a TMD building going in just here. You can see I've done some proprietary work. All this ballast will probably come up. I'll make a concrete hard standing, and then a shed will go in that area there. But it's detracting from the question. Let me see some 68s. So there you have some 68s to end our Q&A for today. It's a massive one. 68029 Courageous, 68008 Avenger, and 68031 Felix. There you have it. Thanks everyone for your questions. It's been fantastic. Really enjoyed it. The video is going to be the big one. Until next time, which will be a running video, I'll say goodbye for now. Take care now. Bye bye.